Okay, so I want to get into this. We're going to talk about the Lakers and LeBron James. And LeBron James is the best in the world. He's the best. Nobody can beat him. And the Lakers. Oh, Anthony Davis. The Lakers are the best pick. They're the number one pick for next year.
Let's let Max talk.
No. Let me go and just say it. The Lakers are the best, and I'm a bad man, and that's why everybody knows it. And Kevin Durant, he's amazing. And the Lakers. LeBron James. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for listening to our show. Welcome to the S&M Sports Talks podcast.
We're not really going to do that the whole show.
So, I know it's kind of a jerk thing to disparage other networks and all this stuff, but I got to be honest.
Other networks? Like we're a network?
We are a network. We're the network of extraordinary sports podcasting.
Yes.
First and foremost, welcome to the S&M Sports Talk podcast. If you want to email us, that's snmsportstalk@gmail.com.
Like us on Facebook and Instagram,
Twitter,
SM Sports Talk,
all that
Twitter, stuff. SM Sports Talk 1.
SM Sports Talk 1. So I deal with this constant frustration because, so I just quit my job. But prior to that, every morning I would listen to morning sports radio, whether it be FS1 or ESPN, and it's the same crap all day long. First and foremost, last time I checked, it was the Golden State Warriors versus the Toronto Raptors in the finals. Yet all we heard was, what is LeBron James doing? Yeah. The Lakers. Oh, they're making a move for Anthony Davis. This is so unbelievably obnoxious. Now, when we first started doing this podcast stuff, I was very open and honest and said, hey, I'm not very well rehearsed with the modern day NHL, but I'm going to study and I'm going to get better. These shows, they don't go over hockey at all, and it's so rude. They don't go over soccer. We just had the U.S. Open, the major golf tournament that just occurred this past weekend, and they don't go over that stuff. It's a constant, like these networks.
I guess if you watch like SportsCenter or something, they do briefly, but not the actual like talk shows.
Yes, okay. SportsCenter is all encompassing.
Maybe there's some. I think what's his name that does hockey on ESPN?
Barry Melrose?
Yeah, Barry Melrose. I think he's like on a few shows
yeah.
sometimes. But
so like SportsCenter and like those types of shows are great. But when it comes to like the personality shows, all it is like, hey, we'll pick one or two players that are super popular and
Kevin Durant, LeBron James.
Exactly.
That's all you hear.
Super polarizing, and all we're gonna do is just talk about them because that's what's gonna get the reviews. The views for people that don't watch other sports. They just watch whatever is popular.
Or during football seasons, like Tom Brady,
Cowboys,
and Antonio Brown,
Cowboys drama, and all that. Right. It's the same stuff. Like, why are we talking about the Cowboys during the Super Bowl? They're not in the Super Bowl.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm a diehard Cowboys fan.
They will be this year.
They will be this year. I mean, for sure. Book it. So it's super obnoxious, and like, you know, it's like somebody like stopping smoking. Like, I keep telling myself, that's it. This is the last day. I'm not going to watch any of this morning crap anymore because it's nonsense. And the next morning at 6:30 a.m. or 7 a.m. when I'm in the car, I tune it on and I can't shake it, you know? So it's super frustrating, super obnoxious.
But there aren't any good alternatives really, right? I mean, all those shows kind of talk about the same thing.
not for morning shows.
Yeah.
Even if you go on those websites, like the main websites, like it's just clickbait. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, it's so annoying.
Yeah, it's the same with the regular news and everything else.
Right. Like the whole reason why I ever wanted to do this, and like, do I think that one day we're gonna have a radio show? Absolutely not.
That's what I was holding out for.
Like, we have other things going on. This is just a fun little hobby to goof off with. But I do like talking with you about sports. Yeah. We talk about it all the time.
Well, like we said, I think on the very first episode, we have these conversations anyway.
Yeah.
Why not record it for fun?
How many hundreds of times do you wake up in the morning and like at 3 o'clock in the morning, I sent you a clip that I saw on ESPN SportsCenter of something funny or something amazing that happened.
Or some news story that I don't really want to read.
Right, exactly.
But usually it's sports.
Yeah, it's usually sports stuff. So, with all that being said, that little rant. Oh, this is gonna be a rant-filled episode, by the way. I've got some.
Brace yourself. Trigger warning.
Yeah,
trigger warning. Is that what people say?
Yeah,
trigger alert.
Trigger warning, you nerd. I've got some beefs to squash. But anyways, let's talk about some other sports, because right now the NBA draft is going on. Hey, spoiler alert: Zion Williams went first to the Pels. Great.
Williamson?
Williamson, yes.
Don't you have a sports talk podcast?
Yes.
You say that to me like once a day.
I know.
Anyway, yeah, shocking. He went number one.
Right.
To
But
the Pelicans, right? You said?
yes, to the other sports going on right now. The NHL hockey Stanley Cup finals finished, I believe, last Tuesday. No, last Tuesday or last Sunday. Either way,
My dates are all.
the Blues won.
We
Super
knew they
stoked.
could do it.
Yeah, super stoked. I was a little bit nervous in
Yeah.
in game 6.
Yeah. It was bad.
Yeah,
we
they
were
got
recording
killed.
during game 6.
Yeah. Well, I was a little nervous because Boston really looked,
Yeah. The Blues weren't
formidable.
having it. It was their time.
Yeah, so game 7, and I did bet the Blues to win, and I bet the under 5 goals. It ended up being exactly 5 goals. I believe it was 4-1. But man, congratulations to them. I think hockey celebrations for the Stanley Cup are freaking amazing. So
Yeah.
I've been lucky
Because
enough.
people take it very seriously.
Right. I've been lucky enough. I believe it was 99-2000 when we saw the Stars win. And I didn't get to go because I wasn't a diehard, but I did love hockey back
Right.
then. So we got to watch some of the celebrations. Living in Chicago.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
we lived in Chicago when the Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And because it was, we had the windows open, whatever. We could hear
Because
it.
I was smoking a cigar inside.
I don't know if that's why the windows were open, but we could hear as soon as the game was over, we could hear people in like all around
Yeah.
our apartment in the neighborhood yelling.
Yep.
Like it sounded, I kid you not, it sounded like the whole city was like yelling all at once.
This is why, because fan is short for fanatic, and this is what I love about sports. Let me tell you, growing up, I would go to Bangladesh for the summers a lot of times, right? And a lot of times we watched World Cup soccer there.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Right. So when the Brazil, because Bangladesh, they usually support 3 teams: Brazil, Argentina, and Germany.
Sure.
So a lot of times when one of those 3
Makes
teams,
perfect sense.
well, we Bangladesh has never qualified.
Right, sure.
But when one of those 3 teams scores or wins the game, people go on the roofs and they have
Oh,
flags and
yeah.
they're yelling.
Right.
And I remember I bought a U.S. flag, and when I say I bought a U.S. flag, I don't mean like a small,
Oh, of course
1
not.
foot
No,
by
I
1
know
foot.
you. I'm picturing a huge,
This is a humongous flag.
way bigger than it needs to be.
I had
flag.
to put 2 dowels on there because obviously you can't let the flag hit the floor. But every time the U.S. sucked, but every time the U.S. would score a goal, I would run out onto my parents' roof, and I would just yell and wave the flag. I'm like, USA, USA. And people, you would think people would laugh at that, but people
Yeah.
were like, yeah, go USA. Like, they were so
Right,
supportive.
just like excited that anyone scored. Sure.
I love fandom.
Yeah.
Like, you and I, we were in Italy during one of the World Cups.
Yeah, we
I
were.
believe when Italy won. And we were there like
I don't know if they won. They made it pretty far or
Yeah.
whatever. When
I
we
think
were
we were
there,
there
they were doing really well.
2 weeks after the tournament.
Maybe.
And it was still insane.
Yeah.
It was just crazy. So
That's when I bought my Italian soccer jersey.
Yes. Buffon.
Yeah.
I love the fandom. This is why I love sports. Like, it's just so much fun. It gives people hope. Like, obviously I cannot stand the Ghana team because they always kill the U.S. But then you hear the story. Like, the
Yeah.
entire village would shut down the electricity in stores.
To power one
Yeah,
TV.
courthouses, whatever, and it would power one TV, and the
Right.
whole village would sit there
Yeah.
and watch. How
I
could
mean, there are tons of these stories, right? Like the whole village buys a car battery to like power the radio or
yes,
something.
How
like,
how can you not love that? This is
yeah.
why I don't
Especially
understand.
soccer is like that. I
Yeah,
think.
I don't understand people that don't like sports. So, anyways, congrats to the St. Louis Blues.
Yes.
I actually got to watch 5 out of the 7 games.
We
The
did
other-
watch a lot of it,
The other
yeah.
2 were kind of in the background. And like I said, the last podcast, man, I think I'm getting jazzed for hockey now. Like, seriously.
We'll see if that lasts into next season.
Yeah, no, it will. Like, this offseason, I'm going to study the Stars players and then other prominent players in the league, and I'll have a lot more to offer, in October when the season starts up. But I'm stoked. Like, I was really proud of the Stars.
Mm-hmm.
I only got to watch 2 games out of that series.
It's
Blues
a
and
little bit
Blues.
hard to, unless it's like playoffs.
Right.
If there's
Playoffs?
anything, the channel that would show us Stars games, if there's any other option, football, baseball, high school, softball, if there's any other option, they're going to play that before they're going to play the
And
Stars.
I'm not paying for the NHL.
We ain't paying for
package.
extra
I don't
channels.
pay for
We don't
nothing.
even pay for the NFL channels.
If I can pirate, never mind. Let's not.
Let's not. do
Yeah.
that. So I don't know if you heard this story, but there's like a hardcore fan. I'm sorry, were you not done?
Wait, are you still talking hockey?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go for it.
There's like this hardcore fan who put a $400 bet on the Blues to win the Stanley Cup at the beginning of the season. The odds
Oh
were
my God.
250 to 1. Well, he made the bet in January. The whole time he refused to hedge his bet. Like even when it looked really dire, he refused to hedge, and he ended up winning like over $100,000
Oh my
from
God.
a $400 bet in January.
That is amazing.
What I was just thinking when we were not joking about the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl.
Right.
If we were smart, if we had half a brain, we'd make that bet like now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Or, next month or whatever before the season starts.
See, and it's funny because sports gambling makes you kind of polarized. Like,
Right?
the people that bet like Tiger Woods to win a major.
Yeah.
The guy who won that bet, right? He won an amazing amount of money. I think he put like, how much did he put? He put like 12,000 or
I don't
80,000.
remember. No, I think it was like 4 digits. Right? I think it was like 1,200.
I thought he won
something.
1.2 mil, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember. It was crazy.
But I bet he bet a crazy amount the last like 3 or 4 majors
And lost. Of course.
And everybody's like, "Oh, you idiot!"
You
blah
moron.
blah. But
yeah.
but
All
look,
it
man,
takes is that one time.
it's like how is it any different than playing the lottery?
Yeah, it's not really. I mean, I guess there's a little bit more control
Hey,
with sports than with the lottery, but
Let me ask you a question.
sure.
Why? Because okay, I play the lottery sparingly. Well, why do I only buy tickets when the winning is like $480 million dollars?
We're too good to win the $3 million lottery. That's
Like-
pocket change.
Like 3 million. Oh, the taxes.
Piss
That
on
brings it
that.
down to
I don't.
1.6.
Yeah, I don't need $1
so-
million bucks.
Yeah.
I need $500 million.
Right.
That's what I need.
I wish there was an edge in the lottery, but then again, everybody else would be on it. Anyways,
Yeah, of course.
Back to sports. So that's an amazing bet.
Is this podcast going to be very like windy and off topic like the last one? Or
Oh, that's just how we are. So moving on from hockey. Oh, and congrats to the Bruins. What a phenomenal season. Tuukka Rask, the goalie. I have not seen a goalie.
You're like obsessed.
I have not seen this guy is legit. He's
Yeah.
amazing. But anyways, we're gonna talk more hockey. When some moves come out in the off season and of course the beginning of the season, we'll start getting a little hyped up for that. Let's move on to basketball.
Are we going to talk about the Lakers?
No, hell
Kidding.
no.
No, we are going to
Well,
talk about the
we're going to
Lakers.
touch on, but we're going to touch on it. We're not going to consume the entire
Sure.
show about it.
Yeah.
I was heartbroken that the Toronto Raptors won the series.
Why don't you go ahead and tell the people you lost more money
Yeah.
because you bet with my doctor again.
I doubled down.
Doubled down that they would win 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
When it's been done 1 out of the last 30 times or something.
Yep. Look, I actually had a very good chance until Klay Thompson went down with that. I'm assuming it's a torn hamstring.
No, he has a torn ACL.
Sorry, torn ACL. Sorry. Yeah, I really had
I
a.
had a good chance until Kevin Durant snapped his Achilles.
No. Listen.
Just kidding.
When he went down, it was 85-80.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Rockets, the Warriors, they weren't even on a great run. They were just playing good ball.
Right.
And it really looked like everything was going the Warriors' way. When I first saw it, I was like, okay, it's not big. Oh, bone bruise. He bumped his knee. But then I saw there was no contact, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
crap. I still thought Steph could have pulled it out, and they were actually kind of close.
Yeah. I didn't ever think they were going to do it. I certainly didn't have enough confidence to double down on a bet that was bad to begin with.
I will say this. Drake was very gracious in the win. He wasn't.
Because he wasn't there.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be like super, over
Obnoxious
the top,
is the word you're
obnoxious.
looking
Yeah.
for. Yeah.
But he was because he's friends with Steph and he's friends with Katie. So he was very cool. In fact, Steph, when he left the locker room, tears in his eyes, he was actually FaceTiming Drake and said, "Hey, congratulations."
Oh, really?
I have to say one thing
Weird.
though, because I think you might have fallen asleep. But I do have to say this: the post-game congratulations for both sides was some of the classiest I've ever seen in my entire life.
You did tell me that.
Now, what happens is it's usually a 50-50. It's usually like, they give a couple of, the cool guy handshake, with the chest bump, and then they all walk off. The losing team walks off. Or the losing team just walks off without shaking hands.
Right.
Now, LeBron James teams, they do 50-50. It depends on the situation. This one, you could read everybody's lips. I saw Steph tell Kyle Lowry, "Man, you deserve this. You've stuck with the system for such a long time. I'm so proud of you." And I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is sports. This is what's so
that-
beautiful about sports.
That's a team that's been there before,
Yeah.
too. I'm not saying that it doesn't mean anything because they've won before. I'm saying they know how to graciously win and graciously lose. They've done it.
I saw Draymond Green look so happy for Kawhi Leonard.
Uh-huh.
He looked like he was his teammate. Like,
Right.
oh man, I'm so happy we won. No, he was just like, he was like hitting him in the chest. Man, I gotta be honest. Like, I know Golden State is the enemy. I know they're like the big conglomerate team. They're like your Amazons. You know, they're that big, they're that big corporation that
Yeah.
you have to deal
Sure.
with. But man, they have exuded class in what I just saw. And I love that Draymond Green was like in the post game conference, like, yeah, they absolutely deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, injuries happen to both sides of the team. That's not our excuse. They were the better
Right.
team. They deserve it. Blah blah blah. Their defense was phenomenal. I am super impressed.
Well, those obviously, like the core group in Golden State are consummate professionals.
Right.
They're
Yes.
veterans. These are not young, scrappy
Right.
guys. Like I said, they've been there. But don't you think that trickles down too? Like, don't you think a lot of that comes from Steve Kerr and the way that he talks about opponents and the way that he like conducts himself as well? I
Right.
think that's really important. Like on teams where the coach is kind of like shitty about other
Right.
players and other teams and stuff, then you notice that in the players too, right? Like it totally trickles
Oh,
down.
and I'm gonna drop this on you.
Okay.
And this player, he's a bench rider now. But guess who just got a ring with Toronto?
Who?
The Asian sensation.
Oh,
Lynn
Jeremy
Sanity.
Lin. I saw that. I was like, what? I thought he retired a long time ago. I
saw
thought he
him-
wasn't playing anymore.
I was like, man, he got courtside seats. And I was like, why is he wearing I was like, shit, he's with
I
the.
saw that.
Literally had, and I didn't see him the entire series. I saw him literally on the floor
Did
after they
you know
won.
he still played basketball? I had no idea, to be completely honest.
So last I saw him, I believe he was with Charlotte.
Maybe.
I think.
Oh, he had the ponytail.
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But then after that, it's like one of those things you just don't hear about.
Yeah, he just like disappeared.
Because I know he played with the Nets for a little bit. That was great to see. So I think,
Yeah.
if I'm not
I
mistaken,
mean, he didn't do shit to get there,
well,
but
yeah.
apparently, because we didn't even know he was playing.
If I'm not mistaken, and I'll have to look this up. I believe he's the first Asian American to have an NBA Finals trophy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yao Ming never won?
Hell no.
Oh, I don't know.
Hell no.
I mean, the Rockets are like contenders now, were they not at the time?
Speaking of the Rockets.
What?
Oh boy. Here,
Oh, my God.
Y'all ready for the number one cliche when it comes to Houston sports? Houston, we have a problem.
Oh my God.
So apparently the rumor is that Chris Paul and James Harden hate each other. And during Game 6, when they were losing to the Warriors to lose the series, Chris Paul told Mike D'Antoni, the coach, hey, keep Harden on the bench. I got this. And they were arguing on the sidelines. It's just a bunch of drama. Anyways, so what I hear is Tillman Fertitta, the owner, and Daryl Morey, the GM, are trying to ship out Chris Paul.
As they should.
And it's a disgusting contract. I mean, I think there's 3 years left and $98 million left.
Jesus, really?
Something like that.
Who's gonna take that?
So it's gonna be one of those things like, I'll take your baggage, you give me your. I'll take your baggage,
like
you
trade,
take mine.
yeah.
So like,
I mean,
I might take your shitty contract, and you might take my shitty contract, and I'll take John Wall's crappy contract from the Washington, because he has a total
The
contract
Washington.
also. The Washingtons.
I mean, is Chris Paul likable at all?
Hell no.
Like, okay, and I have read the same stories that you read, and I have also read that they've come out and said this is not true. They're fine, blah blah blah. Which of course they're going to say that because they don't want Chris Paul to seem unlikable if they're trying to get rid of him. But I don't see him as a good player. Like, he might be a good basketball player, but is he really a guy that you want on your team?
Time out. Can you reiterate the story you heard about Steph Curry in the gym with Chris Paul?
Yeah, we talked about this.
Make it
yeah.
2 sentences because I have a follow up.
So Steph Curry scheduled the gym for practice time when they were playing here in Houston, and Chris Paul found out, and he canceled Steph Curry's time and took that time.
Okay.
And then they ended up losing.
So guess what happened?
What?
Throughout the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
So James Harden's thing is after practice, he goes to the opposite end where nobody else is, and he shoots by himself.
After practice or after the game?
After practice.
After practice. Okay.
So that's like his tradition.
Okay.
He puts up 3
Like,
shots.
be by myself. Whatever.
Yeah, he puts up, he's probably got headphones in, trying to focus.
Sure.
He does a step back 3, which is a travel 70% of the time. That's neither here nor there.
No, it's not because it's James Harden.
So apparently, after this rift between James Harden and Chris Paul came, Chris Paul would take a rookie, and he would go to the other end of the court and play one-on-one.
What a jerk!
Do you know what Chris Paul's nickname is in some certain circles?
What?
Petty Paul.
Oh, it makes perfect sense.
He is such a petty. He's like Napoleon. He's like short, but he's always trying to buck up. He's
Why
always
when
trying
you said Napoleon, I pictured Napoleon Dynamite in my
Hey, can I have some talk? No, I haven't eaten all day.
No,
but
this
yeah.
is ridiculous. It's like that same attitude we talked about on the last podcast about Madison Bumgarner and his like whining and complaining. Chris Paul sounds like that kind of guy. Like he was that kid that's like, I'm not winning. I'm gonna take my ball and go home.
All I can say is, God bless the team that takes them, because I would not want that.
Please don't let it be the Mavericks.
No, there's no way he would come to Dallas.
Good.
But I do think Kawhi Leonard might consider coming to Dallas, because
I'm fine with that.
I figured he would want to stick it to the Spurs multiple times a year.
Yeah, maybe.
And man, that would just launch us into.
You don't think he'll stay put?
He very well could. There was a report that just said he was blown away by how Toronto has treated him.
Yeah.
They really treated him like a star.
Well, especially now.
Yeah,
sure.
they let him do his thing. They let him lead his own way.
I mean, they were all licking his boots during the last, during the finals. So
yeah.
I don't know, but they have until the end of July, right? To do all this. So.
Middle of July, July 8th or July 9th, something like that. There's like a
it
moratorium.
was like the 30th or something.
You got to remember the whole DeAndre Jordan fiasco, the moratorium. Anyways, so that's that. That was the NBA Finals in a nutshell.
So congratulations, Toronto.
Congrats, Toronto. It's hard for me to say that because I thought they're going to be a first round exit. I was dead wrong. Lost a lot of money this basketball season, but that's okay.
We don't have to talk about it.
On to golf, the U.S. Open.
Oh, good.
I was pretty close. I thought Brooks Koepka was going to really contend, and he did. He got in second place. But props to Gary Woodland. Now, I don't know much about him.
I don't know anything about it. I kept asking you, like, who is this guy?
Yeah, but in the turn of the third and the fourth rounds, they did a lot of media coverage on him. They discussed him, and the players were talking about him. This is a guy who is just a good dude. He's like a family man.
Right.
He's like a nice guy. That's
why you don't know him. Everybody
has said nothing but nice things. Like, man, I think he's 36 and this is his first major win.
Oh, wow.
He's a major champion. All I have heard nothing but positive things.
That's good.
He wasn't super celebratory.
Right.
He did a fist pump on his, first and foremost, that was a humongous putt, and he had to two-putt it in. For the win, and he just knocked it in one. Yeah. It was a gorgeous putt.
Yeah. I think a little fist pump is in order in that situation.
But he's just, God, man, I instantaneously became a fan just by hearing what all the players said. And it's not like the players that you haven't heard of. It was like Xander Schauffele said great things about him. Tiger Woods said great things about him. DJ said great things about him. Rory Mac said great things about him. I mean, he just seems like a really good dude, and he is somebody who I will start rooting for. I don't know how well he'll do, but he's definitely someone I'm going to start rooting for.
Is he usually a contender, or... I mean, I just never heard of him. But
you know what? I don't know.
I've made it no secret I don't pay that close of attention.
I don't know much about his history, but I'm definitely going to start paying attention.
Yeah.
Xander Schauffele is another one I thought would contend. I believe he got fourth or fifth, so he was right up there. He just couldn't break that. And yeah, Gary Woodland, he really, really impressed me.
Yeah.
Tiger didn't do so hot. He was also accused of giving up in the fourth round, but he shot a 69. This is why I hate. This is why I don't like people sometimes. You know what I mean? Oh, he gave up.
It's so easy to judge too.
The number one competitor that we've all ever seen in our entire lives in golf.
Yeah.
You're saying gave up as he shoots a 69?
Right.
Come on,
you set your own expectations, though, right? People expect more from him than other people, but.
I mean, we have to understand that at his age, with his back surgeries, with his knee surgeries, with all his ailments, and changing swing coaches multiple times, that winning a major is more of an anomaly than it is not. And
Didn't you tell me that he was like complaining of back stiffness or something like?
Because the weather was pretty cool, like people wearing like long sleeves and all that stuff. And
I remember you telling me he was having some trouble.
Think about that. When people have joint pain when the weather changes, the humidity increases.
Imagine you hear these stories about like ex-football players and stuff, but I'm just thinking of all of the surgeries that he's had.
Yep.
Can you imagine when he wakes up in the morning, like how long it takes him to sort of like loosen up and feel normal?
Yeah.
Ugh.
So
it makes me miserable to think about.
I read a story like maybe 4 years ago when he had his first spinal fusion, and he was telling everybody, like, "Man, I feel great. I feel young again." And then he would wake up in the morning after he brushes his teeth, like he does like stretches for his back and all that stuff. But it got to a point where even the stretches weren't really helping. And this is before his second fusion.
Still.
The stretches weren't helping as much, and it got to a point where he couldn't like lift up his kid.
Right.
And
yeah.
And you think about, look, I'm not the most in shape person in the world. And there are times where like my daughter's running up to me, and by the fourth or fifth time I pick her up, I'm like, all right, I gotta take a little break.
I was having muscle fatigue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let me call that. He literally said she was sitting on his foot.
I said I had muscle failure.
Muscle failure. She was sitting on his foot, and he was like shaking his leg, and she kept saying again. He was like, no, I'm having muscle failure. You have to move.
Yeah, man, it's an old
like our 2-year-old understands. No, I have muscle failure.
It's an old football injury.
From watching football.
From watching
she ran
football,
into a table or something.
Kicked the table. So pissed off. But yeah, so the cold weather, it seems to have affected him. But he didn't make an excuse about it. He was just saying he was sore and stiff and all that stuff.
I'm sure somebody asked, like, is the weather affecting you?
Yeah, but I believe there's another major next month in July. I can't wait. There's watching golf tournaments are awesome, but something about a major, like it's just so much fun. Like everybody gets amped up. The interviews are more in depth. The stories, the backstories of players are more in depth. You get to learn more about their families and stuff. It's a lot of fun. So what else do you have for the plate? Because we just went over hockey. We went over basketball.
We still
went
have
over
a
golf.
lot of basketball stuff to talk about. If you
Anthony
don't mind.
Davis did get traded to the Lakers. It's not official yet because there's a moratorium period.
Right.
And they got rid of pretty much everybody.
People, yeah.
Lonzo Ball is gone.
Basically what LeBron James wanted to do before.
Yeah.
They just waited until
But the Lakers did retain Kyle Kuzma, who I think is their rookie star.
Oh yeah, it's not exactly
Lonzo Ball.
the same that he
So yeah, of course, when something like this happens, when LeBron gets help, as he always does, Vegas, oh man, some sports books are saying the Lakers are the number one team to win the finals. Like,
not going to be enough. I don't think.
Two players a team does not make. You're going to have role players. You're going to have shooters. We've seen this happen before. Anthony Davis is great, but one thing that people are not remembering, he is injury prone. He always has a shoulder issue or a back problem. So it's way too soon to say anything about this kind of stuff. Basketball is over. We're not going to start it until the end of October. So
I mean, if I was a Lakers fan, I would be happy about this, but it would not make me excited for next year's finals. At
this point, we're going to put a pin in that unless something happens. Unless they renege on the deal, or unless if they get another superstar or whatever to help them out.
Right.
Until that, I don't really want to discuss the Lakers or LeBron or AD because it's June.
But on the flip side of that trade, we can talk about which ball is it? Lonzo. And we can talk about LeVar Ball on ESPN the other day.
Oh my God.
Okay, so can I set up the story here?
Sure, you can set up, but I want there to be a caveat first.
Yeah.
I am very aware of the cultural climate we live in.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to sexual harassment, innuendos, things of that nature.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So what I'm going to say, I don't want anybody to think, oh, you're a male chauvinist. It has nothing to do with that.
We're talking about this one situation.
Yes.
Only.
Because I like to take situations and put them in a vacuum and analyze it.
As you should.
Because if you start relating this with something else somebody else said a year ago that got them in trouble, then all we're doing is then nobody's safe. Then anything I ever say to a coworker or to a female, my Starbucks barista lady, anything I ever say is going to be, somewhat
in question.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So please go and set it up.
Okay, so LeVar Ball, I mean, they're so stupid for doing this anyway, but
LeVar Ball's a jackass, first and
I don't know
foremost.
why
and I can't
people
stand
keep
him.
inviting him to be on TV. If we didn't put him on TV, then he'd shut the hell up. And I've been saying this the whole time.
But there's a reason why he's not on SportsCenter and he's on these morning shows, and the reason is
because they need people to watch.
Because these people are nothing but shock jocks.
Right.
They want to say something inflammatory to get people talking.
Sure.
They don't have to respond to this shit until the next morning.
Right.
And then they just start over again.
They don't really have to respond anyway.
Yeah,
so.
it happens all. How many times have we heard Max Kellerman or Stephen A. Smith or Skip Bayless say? Those three guys I can't stand, and they say so many inflammatory things.
Right.
and then it's on YouTube, and then people react.
They do that, like drop the bomb and then they just walk away
Yeah.
from it. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay,
anyway,
I'm sorry.
no problem. So First Take on ESPN had LeVar Ball on. I don't know why, but to discuss Lonzo being traded to the Pelicans and I guess how he felt about the Lakers. I don't know. Anyway, so in the middle of talking, they're having a discussion. You can imagine what this discussion was like.
It was loud.
Yeah. Molly Karam said something to the effect of like, do you mind if I switch gears for a minute? Because I have a question to ask you. To which LeVar Ball said, you can switch gears with me anytime. Now, when I read the story, I was like, oh, gross. Like, he's such a jackass. And then to say something like that, how disgusting. But I watched the video. It was, in my opinion, it was pretty benign. He wasn't like, hey, baby, you could switch gears with me anytime. It was like,
Okay, that was awful.
I mean, whatever.
You could never be a guy. That was terrible.
Surely I'd be better if I were a guy. But he said it just like I just said it to you. Not just now, but like, yeah, you can switch gears with me anytime. I mean, if he said it to Max Kellerman or Stephen A. Smith, I'd be like, okay, whatever. Like, that's not weird. But apparently he's gotten in trouble for saying something sort of sexual to someone on Fox Sports
No,
One or something.
It
I
wasn't
don't
sexual.
know.
He told a lady, stay in your lane.
I think lots of people should stay in their lane.
Right.
And I am not a LeVar Ball apologist
Right.
at all. But this seems a little out of hand. And ESPN has banned him finally. Like, this was the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't know why.
Of all the annoying rhetoric that he's
Right.
spewed, this is what gets him banned. And this is what I have a problem with. I sent this article to my buddies, and I'm like, this is so, like, this, I cannot stand LeVar Ball. I can't stand any of the balls. But, like, for this to be the thing that
I can't stand any of the balls.
I can't stand balls at all. Football, baseball, other versions of balls, not a fan. You're so immature, by the way. But like, for this to get somebody banned is so stupid because, okay.
Out of all the things he said and
So
done.
did he say pervy? No. Did he say benign? I don't think
No,
it was
wasn't
innocent.
completely benign.
I think it was somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
But what's so
it certainly wasn't like, when you read it, you
Right.
think like, ugh. But when
Yeah.
you hear it, it's like, oh.
I mean, if I were to tell my buddy, okay, if I'm talking to two guys, right, and we always talk about sports and politics or whatever, I'm like, hey, man, let's just switch gears. Like, oh, man, you can switch gears at any time. Like, that's a perfectly
Like-
innocent comment.
Like, feel free to change the topic.
Right.
No big deal. I don't mind.
But everything has to change because it's a male versus a female.
and it's him.
Yeah.
Like, and all the stupid stuff he said
But
before.
up until this point, and I'm pretty well rehearsed on his interviews because
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately I watch them, I haven't heard any kind of like sexual harassment ever.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he says a lot of stupid
He says moronic
things.
stuff, but I haven't heard any kind of sexual harassment.
Right.
And and the stay in your lane comment. So I guess like the angle they're going for is that he's kind of putting women down. I
Okay,
disagree.
It depends. Did he say stay in your lane or did he say, okay, sweetheart, let the men talk and you stay in your lane? Like, those are two different things.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know. I didn't hear it, so I can't.
I
really
think
speak
what
on
he said at the FS1 report about staying in your lane was a little bit more disrespectful.
it. Okay. But
I think-
disrespectful is not like, people are disrespectful.
Right.
Stephen A. Smith is disrespectful every morning.
Yep. I think when he said, you can switch gears with me anytime, I think what the problem was how Molly reacted. Because she was like,
100%.
huh, whoa, let's reset now.
And
Like,
she had that look on her face like
Yeah.
he just grabbed her butt or something.
I mean, not everything is sexual harassment. Not everything is
But
putting
it is
women...
if you're looking for it to
Yeah,
be,
but not
too.
everything is putting women down.
Right.
You know me. You know when I like talk to my coworkers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I do that funny, innocent. There's never gonna be anything gonna happen like flirty talk, but it's like very innocent, like goofy talk.
But you do that with everybody, like
Right.
old ladies,
Yeah.
young ladies. Like, it doesn't matter.
When I talk to the fellas, it's like we do like informal talk.
Right.
Is it the most professional? No. Could I be that straight laced professional guy? Yeah, it could be. But this is definitely not a bannable offense. Now,
You think they were looking for something? I mean,
Yeah,
here's
for
my
sure.
theory.
For sure.
Lonzo Ball doesn't play for the Lakers anymore.
Yep.
So they have no reason to constantly have LeVar Ball and ESPN. So finally they get to be like, oh, we had enough of him. Look how great we are. We banned him. He can go to another network. We're not putting up with that.
If he would have dogged
It's like
somebody,
playing the martyr
Right.
here, but they
Like-
set themselves up to do so.
like if he would have, because he's talked smack about LeBron James before.
Yeah, of course.
If they wanted to ban him because ESPN is obviously LeBron James's, LeBron James is ESPN's favorite, topic of the year.
Yeah.
If they banned him for stuff like that, then I'd be like, okay, I it's stupid. I kind of get it.
But you can't do that. You can't ban somebody for having an opinion.
I mean, you can
Right?
not invite them.
I'm not invite them.
Yeah, nobody's
yes.
obligated
But this
to
was
invite
like,
them.
didn't this seem a little forced?
Yeah.
Like, we put him on and put him on and put him on, waiting for something.
So later,
Maybe they don't really want him to be on the network, but he's like so insistent
Sure.
that they were looking for a way to ban
Well,
him.
let me tell you something funny. So later on in the show, maybe like 2 or 3 segments later,
Mm-hmm.
Stephen A. was talking to a guest. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to have you banned. I'm going to go to HR." And Molly was like, "If anybody's going to HR today, it's me." You know.
See,
And she's being applauded for this. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
such a small, stupid comment, and I really don't think it's sexual in nature. But you know what? Hey, I also could be wrong.
well, there is something to be said. If she was offended by it, then that is something to be like respected, I guess. But I mean, it was pretty quick that it just seemed odd, her reaction. Like it seemed like forced shock.
To use
Like
a
forced offense. You know what I mean?
sports reference, like her reaction came way the hell out of left field. Like,
Yeah.
because because I read an article on I think Apple News, and it said LeVar Ball banned for his inflammatory comments
The
against Molly
story
Carroll.
sounded like,
And I was like,
God.
oh my God, I got to watch this video, because he
Yeah.
probably said something about, like her breast or her butt, or
something.
oh, you're sexy, or oh, I
Yeah.
saw your swimsuit picture.
Yeah.
Do people call it swimsuits? Is that no? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, people call them swimsuits.
And I thought it was going to be something like that, but
Yeah,
then
right.
when I watched the video, I was like, was there anything else?
Right.
You can switch gears with me anytime,
But like I said, when you read it,
right?
you do like you hear it in a way that you're like,
I gotta be
yuck.
honest. When I read it, I didn't see really anything wrong with it.
Oh, really? No,
Yeah.
when I read it, I was like, oh.
If now this is gonna be a terrible impression. I just feel icky doing this, but if it was like, oh, you can switch gears with me anytime, baby, then yeah, I get that. But
I mean, how is that any better than what I said before and you made fun of me?
well,
You'd be a terrible guy. Just kidding.
but no, I watched him, and he just looked right in the camera, was like, you can switch gears with me anytime.
I mean, he didn't even have like a weird. And
I didn't-
I hate LeVar Ball. Please don't misunderstand me. But he didn't even have like a weird look on his face. He wasn't smirking.
Yeah.
I mean, any more than he's like naturally smirking. But
But maybe I'll take another look at it, because I don't see anything there. But that's just
whatever. It doesn't matter. You won't see him anymore on ESPN.
Yeah, and luckily, you being on the show, I can't. It's not just like a guy's opinion. You have your own opinion.
Yeah. I say exactly what you tell me to. I'm just kidding. Those of you who know me know that would never happen.
Yeah, she doesn't listen to a damn thing.
No.
Which is where our daughter gets it from.
Right.
I ask my daughter for a hug. She'll run towards me, and then run right past me.
Fake out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm like,
taught her
oh,
that
that's
one.
cool. Okay, so that topic's done, because I don't really want to discuss anymore. There's really, in my opinion, not much there. Hey, but the good thing is we have no LeVar Ball,
Right.
at least in our upcoming forecast.
Right.
I know the LaMelo is going to play for like
Albania,
Albania or something.
Lithuania.
Yeah.
Oh, somewhere.
Anyways, all right. What else
Who
you
cares?
got?
Why does he shave? He has slits in his eyebrows, right?
Yeah.
Do people still do that? People did that when I was like in middle school.
Yeah, I don't know.
These kids and their puffy like Odell Beckham hair. I don't get it. Anyway, I'm sounding like an old lady. So I have one more basketball topic, if you
Go
don't
for it.
mind. How do you
Please.
feel about Kevin Durant? What's going to happen? Will he stay with the Warriors?
so
Will he
what
go
I
to the
think-
Knicks, the Nets?
What I think is going to happen is, I think KD is going to sign with the Warriors
Okay.
and then get traded.
Really?
Yeah, because a team like the Celtics or the Wizards, or the Knicks,
Why did you say it?
I have no idea.
the Wizards.
It sounded so much funnier in my head, and then when I did, I was like, "Oh, you jackass!"
No.
I think they're willing to pay 1 year of no service and then get them later on.
I mean,
Because
how much say does he have?
because
in...
well, I don't know. Well, he can choose to not resign.
No. I mean, in being traded. he
Well,
resigns,
it depends. If he signs with a no trade clause, then he has all the say in the world.
But that, I mean, they wouldn't do that, right? If their
Yeah, I think
intentions-
if I remember correctly, there's only 3 players right now with a no trade clause. LeBron
of
James.
course.
Oh, you know what? Is Kevin Durant one of them?
I'm not sure.
But his contract is expired, so he would have to re-sign
Right.
another one with no trade
Yeah.
clause. But be that as it may,
Do you think this injury is going to affect the way that he plays? I mean, this is not this is not small potatoes.
his
this injury.
career has just taken such a downward
Yeah.
hit.
I mean, you can come back from an Achilles
Of
tear.
course.
Fine,
But look at the ramifications, right?
yeah.
So he had an opportunity right now to sign what's called a supermax.
Yes.
Which would be like a 5-year deal, $200+ million. Or if he goes to another team, 4-year deal for like a shade under $200 million, right? Because the team you're on can always sign you for that extra year, which is a benefit to staying on the team you're with. So he's losing out on a full year of basketball.
Right.
So we're talking about recovery, we're talking about rust, we're talking about all this stuff. And then on top of that, if he is traded, he's going to a new team, new system, new coach, new players,
And
new
we'll
chemistry.
Yeah.
And this could potentially
And
screw
he will
his
be 32
yeah.
at the time when
This-
he comes back.
This could potentially screw his entire career.
yeah.
But
Which was the whole point of like going to the
Yeah.
Lakers, right? Like, I mean, Golden State.
Yeah.
Sorry, like that was the whole point, right? He's like chasing.
But he got his 2
some kind of-
championships. He got 2 championship
Yeah,
finals.
but I don't think he was.
it's not
I don't think he
MVPs.
was chasing championships. I think he's chasing some kind of weird like legacy situation, and I think this will screw with that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he. I don't think he necessarily wants to be remembered for like championships. I think he's chasing like being remembered as
People
the best
like me. Yeah.
basketball player
There were
ever or
there
something.
Were,
I don't know.
There were reports when he was with U Texas, that like there were scouting reports that he's too skinny.
He's still too skinny.
He's not gonna be able to take the brunt of the thing.
Right.
And he came at those people before he got drafted. He is so thin skinned.
he is
I
very
don't get
thin-skinned.
it. I can't believe this guy reads every report about him. That blows my mind.
If I were famous, I would not read a single thing
Right.
that people wrote about me, to be honest.
All right. What else we got?
I mean, that's kind of all I have,
Okay.
I think.
I wasn't gonna take a break, but let's just say power through.
Let's power through.
that's
Do you
it.
have more?
It is 9:45 in the PM.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's so early for
Yeah,
us.
this is man.
and I'm just
this is
looking
super
at the
early for us.
monitor. Why is this child still not asleep?
Yeah, well, she's my
Just
kid.
like hanging out in her bed. Weirdo.
So, we like to talk about sports, but we also like to talk about our personal lives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you just like looking for personal stuff to share right now?
Oh no, I have something personal to share.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait.
Oh, go
One
on.
more sports thing.
Okay.
How the hell did we forget the NFL? Carson Wentz signed a huge contract.
Okay.
4-year extension, 100. Well, it ends up being 30 some odd million, so $128 million. I think was the contract.
Oh,
So now Dak. Now we gotta figure out what's gonna happen with Dak Prescott. Are the Cowboys really gonna give Dak Prescott 30+ mil a year?
are we really going to look for somebody else? Who else is there?
That's so funny you said that because we still have to sign Zeke next year.
Yeah.
We have to sign Amari Cooper this offseason. We already signed DeMarcus Lawrence. And Jalen Smith has to be signed, I think, next year. So we've got a lot of people to sign. Oh, and then Anthony Brown. We have a lot of people to sign.
Here's the real question now I'm thinking. On the flip side, what team would... Well, I'm not saying he's not wantable. I'm just asking. Is there a team that would want Dak Prescott? Like, just
Yes.
offhand, are you thinking of like a certain... Or like, would it be worth it for him to take like kind of a hometown discount
Okay,
to
so
stay with
so
the
let me
Cowboys?
tell you a little.
That's the question.
Let me
I'm
tell you
trying-
hard stats. All right.
Okay.
In his first 3
I don't
years,
believe for a second these are hard stats just because of the face you just made.
in his first 3 years, only Tom Brady has better numbers.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Touchdown to interception
Sure.
ratio, completion percentage. Now yards, yes, he doesn't throw for a lot of yards.
Right.
Now we're getting Travis Frederick back. Having Amari Cooper hopefully sign. Having Zeke back. I don't think he'll get suspended, but having him back,
Oh, he'll get suspended.
I don't think so.
Roger Goodell's an ass. That's why.
I think it's worth to sign him $30 million a year.
I think so too. But what we think doesn't matter. Because
Yeah.
sometimes what Jerry Jones does doesn't make a lot of sense.
Any other football news? Tyreek Hill, like the sheriff's office decided that there's nothing really to investigate.
Oh my
And I'm
God.
like, Yeah, a 3-year-old with a broken forearm. Yep, nothing to see here,
Right.
guys.
Yeah.
Nothing
No
to see
big
here.
deal. We'll just wait until it's like a
And
fractured skull or something.
collusion and lying to Department of to a
Child
federal
Protective
child.
Services?
Thank you, Child Protective Services on the phone. Yep,
That's all
nothing
right.
nothing
No
to see
problem.
here.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping the NFL bans him or suspends him.
To just since we're talking NFL, did you see that Josh McCown, right?
Yeah,
He finally
yeah.
retired after he played for 10 teams or 11 teams,
He played for a
something
lot.
like that. I saw it on Instagram and they were like, scroll through to see all the teams, and it just kept like going and going and going.
I will say
and
he's a
going.
consummate professional for
Yeah.
backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Awesome. Also,
I don't mean this in a mean way, but like his face is so chiseled. He looks like a cartoon character. Like I don't mean he looks cartoonish. I mean like his face is so chiseled.
guess what we're gonna do
weird.
end of next month though?
What?
We're gonna start talking about fantasy draft strategies. Yeah, we'll
So
have
I
some.
can start complaining again.
Yes, we'll have some friends and we'll talk about draft strategies. We're gonna do some mock drafts and we're gonna like see how we all fare. Misty keeps saying she's not gonna
I'm
do a
not
mock
doing
draft.
no damn mock
You're
draft.
doing a mock draft.
I'll do it for the podcast,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna like study one. I'll
That's what I'm
just do
saying.
it for fun.
Because we're gonna compare them. We're gonna see who fares better. Whether you do running back, whether you do wide out, whether you do mix of both.
There's only one correct answer to what you just said. We'll discuss it next month.
Oh wow! Look at that. So, anyways, so that's football in a nutshell. Nothing else is going on really.
I mean, listen to me talking like I know anything. Did I finish like last place last year?
Yeah, but you have 3 championships on your belt.
What?
Shut up. U.S. women's soccer,
They're killing it.
13-0.
Yeah.
Alex Morgan broke the record with 5 goals in a game.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? I
Unbelievable.
saw that they said like it would have been disrespectful to ease up and stop scoring.
Well,
How do you feel about that? Because
so-
there are two schools of thought here.
When it comes to soccer, goal differential does matter.
Right.
But
Even this early though,
yeah.
it does. Okay.
But 13-0.
I mean, I kind of with professionals. Now, if we were talking about kids or even
Right.
high school, like it's uncalled for. It's just disrespectful. But with professional sports, I sort of feel like,
Yeah,
Do it.
the women actually won today also.
oh, they did.
Yeah, I think it was
Good.
2-0.
Awesome.
Oh, by the way, so I've been accused of being emotionally unavailable, not really one to
By
cry.
who?
Yeah, everybody.
Oh, okay.
Don't
Not
cry
by
a whole
me.
lot, all that stuff. I actually teared up watching a story about the Jamaican women's
good
soccer
Lord.
team. They scored their first ever goal ever in like the World Cup,
Oh wow.
and
How they made it to the World Cup if they can't score no goals?
well, you qualify.
How
But
do
I
you
mean,
qualify if you don't score goals?
yeah, they qualify. But then once you go to the World Cup, you're playing the world's elite.
Oh, I see what you're saying. They've
Yeah.
scored goals before, but
Yeah.
not in the World Cup.
Right.
I understand.
And I think they got beat like 5-1 or 4-2 or something like that. So and they're not going to make it past the first round.
But still,
But to see those
it's like
ladies
inspirational that they made it.
crying out of sheer joy was freaking beautiful.
It's a good thing I didn't watch it.
I sat there and I was like, "What is this liquid coming out of my eye?" Like, oh right, man,
You like the Terminator?
it's that happiness. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
oh man, it was so great to watch and like inspiring.
Was it on ESPN? Those damn
Yeah.
inspirational stories.
Like they were inspiring little girls. Little girls in Jamaica. Like,
Right.
hey, look, we may not have qualified, but we scored our first goal, and it's just the needle's gonna move up and up and up. And I love that stuff.
yeah.
All right, so back to our personal lives. Here's a little tidbit, something I didn't know. I didn't realize that fast food employees have like ownership stake in the companies.
Oh my God, would you let it go? Seriously. Do you want me to tell the story?
Go ahead.
We had Wendy's for dinner tonight.
Really healthy, by the way.
It was delicious. It's my fault. I was craving a chili cheese baked potato, which now that I think about it, my potato didn't have no cheese on it. Anyway, so I went through the drive-thru. Shahrukh loves their chili sauce.
Oh, it's amazing.
Not on the chili, mind you, on the french fries and the
Oh,
chicken
it's
sandwich and
so amazing.
literally everything. If you haven't had it, you should get it. It's not that, it's a little spicy, but not too bad.
Right.
It's delicious. Anyway, so I agree, like he was watching our daughter, so I agreed to go out and get the food. So I go through the drive-thru. I'm like, hey, can I have a lot of the chili sauce, please? Like a lot. This is what I said to the guy. Like, I need a lot of it, please. Oh, sure. So I drive off like a moron because I always drive off without checking the food, and then I have to go all the way back around. He gave me
check your food, people.
yeah.
Don't
Before you drive away from the
don't
window.
trust these kids.
I don't know why. I always feel like they're gonna think that I don't trust them if I check the food. I don't know.
give a
I know.
damn.
I know. Anyway, so I look in the bag. He gave me 2 chili sauces. So I text Shahrukh like, "Hey, he only gave me 2. Is that okay?" To which Shahrukh texts me back, "Go drive back through and ask him if I give him $2 on his paycheck if that would be okay. I need more chili sauce." So I go back.
I mean,
through.
Jesus, Jeff, like, does it come out of your paycheck? Give me my damn sauce.
I mean, y'all, seriously, between the time that I texted Shahrukh to ask him if 2 was enough, the Wendys that I went to was inside a gas station. So, because we live in Texas, that's how we roll. So there was no place for me to park to just run in and get sauce. So I literally had to drive back through the drive-thru and play the whole sheepish, like, "I'm sorry, can I just have a little more chili sauce?"
See, you're way nicer than I am.
I know. And I already had my food. It's not like he's going to spit on the chili sauce.
After this, I'm going to tell you a confrontation I had with another employee a
okay.
couple months ago.
So anyway, what was I saying? Oh, between the time that I asked the first time and got back around to the window, and there was nobody in line, by the way, or there was one car in front of me. I got not kidding, I got 12 texts about how inappropriate it is that you don't get enough sauce. Shahrukh told me when you get back to the window, hand him back the napkins. We have enough damn paper towels. We need chili sauce. This is what I deal with.
Those aren't the words I use, but yes, the sentiment is the same.
So he expects me to drive back to the window, throw the napkins back in at the guy, and get more chili sauce.
No, they give us napkins like I had dental work done. I'm going to dribble everything all over my chest.
They seriously put like 8 1-inch stack of napkins.
I live by Costco.
Bags.
I got enough paper. I have enough paper towels for a small village.
And what? Everyone knows that those fast food napkins fall apart the second they get wet. They're useless.
My damn sauce. It doesn't come out of your check. And what I texted Misty is like, you can't be a company man making $7 an hour. I'm not shitting on any kind of employment.
I mean, that's a guy who probably got in trouble. They were like, "Listen, Jeff." His name was not really Jeff, by the way. I don't think.
You know, a couple of months ago, I went to McDonald's and I got some nuggets, right?
McDonald's stingy for real.
Yeah, so I asked for 2 sweet and sour and 2 barbecue. What I ended up getting was 2 sweet and sour and 1 barbecue. Misty likes barbecue. I love sweet and sour. That's how we roll. And I was like, "Oh, hey man, I only got 3 sauces. Can I get another? Barbecue?"
Oh.
And he was like, "Oh, actually,
sorry.
You know, we got to charge you 50 cents." I go, "No, why?"
50 cents for that little packet of sauce.
Yeah, and he said, "Well, you know, for every 10 nuggets, for the first 10 nuggets, you get 2 sauces.
Right.
Every 10 after that, you get 1.
Because the second 10 nuggets are not as dry as the first 10 nuggets."
And so I looked at him, and because I had to come back out of my car and go inside, you know, God forbid.
The funny thing, guys, is this McDonald's is also in a gas station.
Yeah, and I walked up to him and I was like, "Hey man, like, so you tell me if I order 2 10 nuggets, I get 4 sauces.
Right.
But I order 20 nuggets, I get 3.
Right.
And he literally pointed to the chart. They have a chart, by the way.
Yes.
If you look in the drive-thru,
It's right inside the drive-thru.
Yeah.
There's like a little plaque that tells you how many sauces.
Why?
I don't know. That sauce has got to be
First
so
and
cheap.
foremost, billion people served. That's a lot of money.
But you know what's funny? You ask for ketchup and they just reach in and get a handful. It's like enough ketchup to get you through an apocalypse.
Do they get commission out of how many of these goddamn sauces? Here, why is this an issue? If I say
that 50 cents they take for the sauce, they just stick it in their pocket. They don't put it in the register.
if I say, "Hey man, give me mix it up, sweet and sour and barbecue." Why can't you give me a handful of both?
I mean, you don't need no damn handful, but
Okay, fine. Give me 2 or 3
like
of
2
each.
or 3, reasonable.
2 and 1 for 20 nuggets?
Doesn't make sense. And then why should the barbecue person get shortchanged?
First and foremost, I'm eating fast food. I don't ration shit, which is why I'm eating fast food. I gotta ration my sauce now.
Right.
If the nugget to sauce ratio is off by a little bit, it's not a very pleasant meal. And I know that sounds really ridiculous. I challenge you, if you like nuggets, you get nuggets and you use 1 sauce for 10 nuggets and you see how you feel. If you like chicken fingers or gravy, I want you to use a quarter of that gravy that they give you and see how you feel. It sucks.
I mean, this is a real passionate topic.
If you're fancy and you get some like a steak sandwich with some au jus, use like a quarter of that sauce and see how it feels. It's bullshit. That sauce.
The sauce serves a purpose.
I don't understand the 16-year-old high school dropout that is a company man getting paid $7 or $8. This is not a McDonald's commercial.
Doesn't it make you wonder? Like, do they get talking tos? Like like, listen, Susan, I saw that you gave the last person 5 sauces. You know, we're only supposed to give them 3. I'm going to have to write you up.
Once
Like,
again,
does that happen?
this is like corporate greed. This is capitalism at its finest. It's like,
They already raised the damn prices anyway. You know how expensive fries are at McDonald's?
Yeah, they're
I
pretty
mean, they're
ridiculous.
delicious, but when half the cost of my order is fries, give me some sauce.
I mean, why can't they be like the Arby's person? When the Arby's person is like, "Hey, do you want any sauces?" Yeah,
You're going to have horsey sauce for days.
I have 2 sliders, and they're like, "Okay, cool. You want horsey and Arby's sauce?" Yeah, they put handfuls of each.
They'll give you like another bag full of sauce.
My sauce is way more than my roast beef sandwich.
And y'all spare us. We know that Arby's is a gross place to eat, but it's delicious.
Yeah, it is pretty good. Like I don't understand like the LeVar Balls of these people, like to straight up skimp on the sauces. Like how
The funny thing is that
like
does
the sauce come out of their 401k?
You
Does it
would
come out of
think-
their monthly bonus?
The funny thing that I did not include in my Wendy's story was once I got to the window, this kid didn't even say anything to me. He was like flabbergasted that I came back to
What
ask
is he
for more
so pissed
sauce.
for?
I don't know. But then I saw him. I could see him. He reached in the tray where the chili sauce is, pulled out a handful, and counted out 5 and put the rest of them back and then handed them to me. Like, why 5? I don't care,
idiot.
but I'm just saying, like, why 5? Is that in the training manual? Like, try 2, and if 2's not enough, then give them 5 more. Like, why? I watched him count them. Like, why?
I mean, they have warehouses of this shit. Like, seriously?
Like, were they like, excuse me, were they like, God damn it, Jeff, we can't run out of chili sauce again?
Oh, but think about this though. Like okay, well, fine, Arby's, whatever. But think about when you go and eat inside there, which I haven't eaten in a fast food chain.
It's just there
unless on a
for
road
the
trip.
taking.
You take as much as you want.
But not at McDonald's. They don't have like a pump of barbecue sauce. You still have to ask for the sauces. But ketchup, why is ketchup just free game?
I don't know.
And you're right, Arby's sauce and horsey sauce, fair game.
Yeah. I simply like Wendy's, step up your game. You're so busy tweeting against McDonald's and Burger King. How about
Just give us the sauce.
stop being a smartass and you know, stop your little ridiculous advertising about a square patty and all this shit and give people the sauce they want.
Give Jeff the freedom to give me my sauce.
No, man. Puck Jeff.
I mean, this poor guy.
No,
Really?
I never met him, but I hate Jeff. You know what?
I mean, he was like a nice young kid. I don't know.
So what does he
I don't
have
understand.
vested in
I don't know.
stiffing me?
And why, when I said, could I have a lot of chili sauce, please? Why did he hear 2? I don't know. We are very passionate about our fast food sauces. I mean, we keep a whole bag of extra sauces in the fridge.
Oh yeah, if y'all are ever Facebook friends with me or Misty, like we showed a picture of our sauce bag.
That sauce bag, rest in peace.
Oh my god.
Got like Coke spilled on it or
No,
something. It was,
no.
Oh no, something burst, right?
No.
What happened?
You don't remember?
No. I thought like something broke. The Coke.
So we have a sauce bag, right? And it was filled. Like we had pecani sauce from
Like
McDonald's.
I was
and
throwing stuff
and
away. Like we don't
Whataburger.
need this much ketchup.
We had KFC's hot sauce, which is just, you know, it's
We
just
got that spicy
Louisiana hot
ketchup.
sauce, spicy ketchup.
Pecani sauce.
Of course, horsey
These
and
are the
Arby's
things
sauce.
we save, right?
We didn't have any sweet and sour or any chili sauce because those stingy
Taco
bastards.
Bell sauce. Because
Taco
that's
Bell
another
sauce.
one. Taco Bell, you ask them for hot sauce, they
Yeah.
will literally give you
Yeah.
like a small bag full of that stuff.
Yeah, they're not paying me enough to count this shit.
No, they don't care.
So
They're barely paying enough down at Taco Bell for them to get your order right.
So one day, I had put some salmon in the tray above it,
Oh.
and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna
Now
cook
I
this. I'm gonna
remember.
cook this tonight." Oh, okay, it's still frozen. I'll cook it tomorrow. Well, what ended up happening? I think it was like a holiday weekend. We went to Fort Worth, and of course, when we go to Fort Worth, I'm not bringing a piece of fish along in my car.
Yeah.
When we got back, it was like I was like, "All right, well, you know, it's not trash day, so I'll toss it tomorrow." And I remember taking it out the fridge, and I was like, "Why is it so wet and this stinks?"
Gross.
And I didn't even think about it. So, you know, I wiped the tray.
It like gooped down into the
Yeah, I wiped the
sauces.
tray and I threw the fish away, which, you know, I really feel bad for wasting food. I always hate that. But like, it was like 2 weeks later, I'm going through the sauce thing. I'm like, man, these are all sticky. So a sauce must have burst.
So
And I'm like, wow.
that's what I thought happened. I thought like a sweet and sour or something popped.
If you ever want to know what salmon juice smells like,
Oh, God.
2 weeks in the refrigerator, it smells like hot ass. And I was just like, what? And it's one of those things where like you couldn't stop sniffing the bag. You're like,
Oh, my
I was like,
God.
Misty, what does this smell like? And she's like, "Oh my god, this is atrocious." And so I finally figured out. I was like, "Oh, I wiped the top of the thing, but it must have seeped in the bottom."
Full disclosure, I'm getting that like
Yeah.
watering feeling in the back of my throat. So gross.
You're gagging and vomiting.
I'm
You're vomiting. So, anyways, that's
That's 2 weeks in a row we quoted Scrubs, by the way.
Oh yeah. That's my personal vendetta against Wendy's.
Yeah. So if you go to Wendy's
And there's a jerk named Jeff.
or anywhere really, and you ask for extra sauce, check before you drive off.
And you know what? See, this is what I'm talking about. Misty's so nice. Like she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. Can I get some more? Can I get a little bit more? My husband loves your sauce." For me, I go straight 90s gangster on them. Like, hey man, does this come out your check? Like, why are you guarding the sauce? Like it's the damn Coca-Cola recipe.
There must be something we don't know. Maybe they get like demerits for running out of sauce.
That's not my problem. And there's a certain threshold. If you're getting paid less than $10 an hour, you should not be able to get demerits. You either get fired,
right,
reprimanded, or be left
just
alone.
leave me alone.
But I like to ask them, and I do this all the time. And sometimes I make it awkward. Misty's in the car. I'm like, hey, you gave me 3 ketchups. Like, well, I need more. Like, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. And it may not come off the nice thing in the world, but look, I'm the nicest guy in the world until you stiff me off some sauce, man. Like,
that's the line, people.
yeah, I'm not gonna pay extra for what would be free if I sat in your restaurant and ate it.
Yeah.
Which another thing.
Oh God.
Another hilarious thing, and then we're done
What?
because I got things to do. We were road tripping from Fort Worth back to Houston, and we stopped by a certain chicken joint south of Fort Worth. It was like 40 miles south of Fort Worth or something like that. And our daughter was asleep in the car. Unfortunately, she just fell asleep. So we're like, all right, let's just eat in the car. That way we can hit the road and blah,
She
blah.
doesn't sleep in the car that
Right.
much anymore.
We went to the drive-thru, got the food, and we sat in the parking lot in their vision. And
Right in front of the big window, they could see us.
speaking of which, they know us. Unfortunately, they do
That
know
is
us.
true, yeah.
And so, I went back to the drive-thru. Oh, hey, I just came in. Here's my receipt. Can I get a refill? We got another 3 hours left on the drive. Oh, we can't do refills through the drive-thru. And I literally asked, like, so do you want me to come in the restaurant and get refills? She goes, yes. So Misty goes in because I'm steaming. I'm like, this is so stupid. They literally tell her, oh, I'm sorry, you have to eat in here.
Refills are
to get a
for
refill."
dine-in customers only.
I'm like,
I said,
you use the same styrofoam cup.
yeah, I said, you saw us just eat in the car. We told you we were going to eat in the car because our daughter was asleep. So I kind of did dine in. I stayed here.
I think next time.
They do the same thing. It's like, does that Coke cost
Right.
money for you?
You know
Like,
that syrup is pennies on the dollar for what a Coke costs? You know what I'm going to do? Is next time she falls asleep in the car, I'm going to do that.
what?
I'm not going to move out the drive-thru window. I'm going to rest my Coke on their little windowsill. You know that sill that where they drop all your damn change and it falls on the ground? I'm going to rest my Coke on there. And I'm like, oh, sir, can you move? Nope, I'm dining in. My Coke is in, I'm dining in. I'm under your canopy. And I expect a refill after this.
Yeah, you're not going to do that.
Because I don't like driving without having
It is
something to
annoying,
drink.
though.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And that's why I love sports.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Fanatics. All right. Anyways, so we're going to go and wrap this up. If you stuck with us this long,
Thanks.
seriously, what are you doing with your life? I'm just kidding.
You must be stuck in traffic or something.
You know what? I would love if you have like a fast food story, send it on over. Or just send a text or an email. That would trip me out.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. Well, we have a lot of sports going on this week. No, we don't. Just a bunch of baseball.
There's not like crap going on now.
Yeah.
That NBA draft is going on right now, I think.
Yeah, I can't even watch a draft anymore. It's so boring. But yeah, we do have baseball going on. I think the next podcast I'm going to start talking about baseball because now we're kind of getting to the July area where I said I was going to talk about baseball.
Right.
And things are shaping up. And
just bear with us. Eventually, we'll get to football season.
Yes.
We're waiting.
I can't wait for like the fantasy football episodes because a lot of strategy, a lot of shit talking. A lot of our friends that we'll invite will be in our leagues together. So we're gonna have some fun. Anyways. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. Father's Day was last Sunday.
Oh yeah, Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's
belated.
Day, most important day of the year.
Oh
Clearly.
God. It rained all day, so poor Shahrukh was stuck in the house
I did not get. I was gonna play
with
golf.
his 2 favorite people.
Yeah, I was gonna play some golf, and it just rained. And it
What
wasn't.
did we do? Oh, you watched golf.
Yeah, it wasn't even like light rain. It was just like sloshy rain.
Yeah, it was pouring rain.
Yeah.
Like flash flooding.
Yeah, one correction, Xander Schauffele did get third, not fourth.
Oh.
But anywho's,
Also, I don't know if we'll record before July 4th.
yeah, we
Oh,
should.
yeah, it's only the 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, y'all have a good week.
All right.
And if we don't, because we're erratic, have a happy July 4th.
And we said we were going to start signing off. If we didn't get to it, we'll get to it. We still haven't responded to those podcast comments from like 3 episodes ago. Sorry,
All right,
Ray.
Well, if we didn't get to it, we'll get to it
I mean,
next
that's how
time.
we should end the podcast. Like, sorry, Ray.
Sorry, Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we didn't get to it, we'll get to it next time. All right,
Take
y'all take
care.
it easy.